Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network. I am your host, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
Hey, when you said wide Wisconsinite, I thought you meant me. Sorry.
No.
I keep doing that.
You're the
motorcycle. Let's just say
motorcycle.
I'm the athletic one.
Yeah, motorcycling footballer.
Yeah, footballer.
Yeah,
Gotta
football.
make sure
Stojkovic. Also joining us is that retro code Eddie V.
Hello, everybody.
Stoy, since you have the drink, every time Ed mentions Nintendo, you have to drink.
I'm gonna have to get another beer for that, or like at least three more.
You should have brought the whole 12-pack over.
I really should have.
That's the shade. Yes.
How's everyone doing? Everybody have a good weekend?
Yeah, I just started my vacation. So,
some of us don't get vacations, Ed.
What are your vacation plans? What do you got planned, Eddie?
So today I went to Indiana. Went to go see my friend Larry. We went to Evo Chat and got some good food because I haven't been there in a while, in like 2.5 years. And like I'm pretty much cleaning, getting games and stuff done, and then testing some things out. And then Monday, I'm singing at the Jewish church for their New Year's celebration. So those are my plans.
Nice. Very cool.
Cool. Anybody else have a good weekend?
I had I got my first yellow card as a soccer coach on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're not a real coach till you get a red card, though, Stoy.
I know. Yeah, I'm not getting there. I haven't gotten there yet, but I've been coaching for about like 12 to 15 years now at this point. So, listen, referee made me mad. I had to say something very loudly to him. So,
yeah.
It wasn't anything crazy or anything wild. I didn't throw anything up in the air or do anything crazy, but
It's all right. I watched a Browns player punch the opposing team's coach today, so that was cool.
Ooh,
sick.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Player got tackled. Browns player stepped on player. Coach pushed Browns player. Browns player punched coach. Gets ejected.
Wow.
Did the player get ejected or anything?
The player got ejected. Coach didn't get anything.
Got it.
Yeah, I must have missed that.
Yeah, it was early in the first quarter. It was like the third or fourth play of the game.
Ooh, that's like way to begin.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, because I was excited to watch Tennessee play. Turned it on. Just they looked. I just could tell that they just did not look good at all. So I went back to bed after watching about 15 minutes.
Was this the first game for the season for everybody?
Yeah.
And then
I was going to say, I don't have to turn on the TV to watch Tennessee because Corey is the only 10 I see.
Ooh. Better check your this monitor there.
Yeah, and then I did the same with Green Bay. With Green Bay, I turned it on and I was just like, nope. They're not going to win either, and turned it off.
That'd be what it be.
Well, it's just funny because I had said, I just wish that they would have let Aaron Rodgers go. But everyone's like, no, man, this is going to be the year that he's going to play his best because he's got to look great before they get rid of him. I'm like, well, he really looked great today.
Hey, it's now let's chill out. It's one game.
The only thing he looked great at was that State Farm commercial I saw 47 times during the Browns game.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that amazing throw that he threw, an interception, did absolutely no Packer there. Before I said, I guess I don't need to try to watch it again.
It be what it be.
I know nothing about sports, everybody, so I can't contribute. When I was driving I was on the road driving. So
I was watching the Liverpool match this morning and F1 racing this morning.
Oh,
So it was actually a pretty eventful morning for me because F1, their race was in Italy, and then of course naturally I was watching English Premier League this morning. So my sports happen in the morning while y'all guys party in the afternoon. So
Nice. Well,
yeah, one of the guys from Liverpool got his ankle dislocated.
Ooh.
pretty bad. It was a pretty bad foul, and then all of a sudden you see him go down, and you see him grab his leg, and where you think his foot is, it's like the other way around. So it was like, wait, that's not right.
That's like
sudden,
it's like the Dak Prescott ankle fracture from last year.
Yeah, where it's like that ain't supposed to move like that.
No.
No. But yeah,
Gross.
that was my morning. Actually, there was two of the best racers in F1 crashed, and one of the F1, Max Verstappen, actually, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. His car literally went on top of Lewis Hamilton's car.
Jeez.
Now, do you ever see the modern day F1 cars? How they have that ring around the driver's seat, the cockpit?
Yeah.
And they have that big post right in the middle that reinforces that ring.
Yeah.
That ring literally saved Lewis Hamilton's life. If that ring wasn't there,
He'd be dead.
I think he'd be dead, or suffering some severe cranial trauma.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's wild. Sports, yeah, man, it's wild.
Yeah. They'll probably be showing replays tonight of like all the incidents that happened today.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'll be honest, I've been watching mostly like the 9/11 stuff today. I ended up watching a bunch of that just because.
Way to bring it down, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse. Gosh.
Yeah, way to go.
Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I watched today for the fourth time was that Matrix trailer.
Hell yeah.
That movie looks good.
Dude, Friday night I watched The Matrix. Friday I actually watched Shang-Chi. Last night I ended up watching the first Matrix.
Yeah. Dude, the first Matrix movie is so good.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Matrix trailer.
You know what? I don't know about you.
You know what, Eddie? You're not on this podcast anymore.
Go back to Pow Block.
Done. Yeah, go back to your...
We're done.
It feels
back to the other podcast.
No, it feels a little bit more of like John Wick. Like I was getting a lot of John Wick vibes from it.
It's just because Keanu Reeves has a beard and long hair. Shooting guns.
Part of that horror movie that I watched ends up like John Wick at the end too.
You guys can tell there's a lot of Xbox news this week. So is the black guy in the trailer? Is he supposed to be a young Morpheus? Did they recast Morpheus? Is that what they're doing?
No, Morpheus is dead.
I know that from the Matrix Online. That whatever, stupid.
And they consider,
who is this guy? Who is this guy?
I'm the only one of us who hasn't seen it yet at all.
Oh my gosh, watch it, Jesse.
I think he's just a new character to the movie universe.
I don't know. I think it's Morpheus.
Well, that's why I'm kind of curious about, because as we all know, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the Matrix trilogy.
That 16-year-old trilogy.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I mean, you should have seen it by now. Anyway, the Matrix has gone through 6 iterations, so I'm wondering if this is like the 7th or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if the choice he made at the end of the 3rd movie changed the way the Matrix reconstructs itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering too. Mm-hmm. But like he made a deal with the machines to where he's still in the program and Trinity is still in the program or something like that, and then that's why only those 2 characters returned. I think the Morvigian. He's coming back, and I don't know. I thought I heard one more character was coming back too.
Yeah.
Are they planning to re-release the trilogy like 4K or anything?
They already have.
Is. Yeah.
Oh, they have.
They have that big box set with the 3 movies and then the Animatrix.
Animatrix. Okay.
Yep.
I wonder if they're gonna do a second Animatrix because of the new Matrix movie.
It wouldn't surprise me, especially because like Halo did it, Star Wars just did it. Like it's becoming more popular to do things like that. So
I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of double down with this. And even like a animated series would be kind of cool.
Yeah, like Castlevania on Netflix, they could do like a Matrix one. That'd be cool to like kind of explain what happens in between the movies. That'd be cool. Yeah.
I think
Go ahead.
Oh no, I just say I think this is gonna be a really big blockbuster hit when it comes out.
Well, it's coming to HBO Max day 1, so
it's coming out on the same weekend, I think, as the new Bond movie. So that's gonna be a big weekend.
Yeah.
Man, Bond.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that too. But He does.
That's a 2.5 hour movie.
What, Bond? That's fine with me.
Bond.
I'll watch.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll watch Ana de Armas shoot stuff for 2.5 hours. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I think they said it was the longest one, I think, in the series.
I don't know. The last couple were pretty long. All the Daniel Craig movies are pretty long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all pushing well over 2 hours. So
Yeah.
2 hours.
what's up with that now, man? Like, why can't movies just be 90 minutes? Remember those days?
Got to make it worth the money, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, and a lot of the times, like, if you give yourself only a little bit of time to make a good narrative movie, a lot of times you end up having to cut stuff out.
Well, yeah, like that was the thing about director's cut movies back in the day.
Yeah.
You know? Like
Yeah.
you actually got to see like 20 minutes extra content that was cut from the movie, and most of it was garbage.
Yeah. Well,
Which
the
I
latest
have-
director's cut was also over 4 hours long, which was that Justice League movie.
Yeah, which was an amazing movie.
What?
Yeah.
That movie,
4 hours.
the movie was
I
so bad.
absolutely loved it.
Gosh,
All right,
I've
Corey, you're
Did
not.
you
you're,
watch the 4-hour one? the
yes,
version?
yes, the Snyder
so
cut. I
bad.
watched it. It took me 3 days.
It just came out on Blu-ray. I don't know if I should get it or not, so I can watch it.
I've still yet to see any of the Avenger movies because I just don't care. But
Ed's-
that movie actually interested me. So
Ed's
I don't know.
anti subscription service. So
that's what I was gonna say. Like you could just have HBO Max, but I mean, I have it free because I have an AT&T cell phone plan, so I got
Yeah.
it free.
I could do it free because some of the games that I brought for Xbox, they gave me like a trial subscription for HBO Max.
well,
I'll just go out and buy the movies because they'd be on sale for like $15 or $20. So.
my wife's mom subscribes to HBO Max and my parents subscribe to Disney Plus, so I got them both for free. Bam.
Sick,
Sick,
bro.
sick. You know who's sick? My kids. So you know who's going to be sick tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
This guy. Speaking of sick, this is
Kids are
Arsenal
just
X.
walking
The
disease factories.
Jesus, because my kids started preschool last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we come together with our friends from around the internet to talk about everything we love about Xbox, including news, rumors, Game Pass, and your questions. You can email the show at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com or leave a comment on the latest video episode. If you're listening on iTunes, please leave us a 5-star review and a nice comment. That'd be nice too. I misread it and then I got stuck. So whoops. Remember, you can find all of our shows on bossrush.net and follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. We're gonna jump in to what we've been playing. Ed, we're gonna go your way first. Anybody needs a snack break, you can go now because I'm sure this list is pretty long.
Nope.
Yeah, he's on vacation. Just
Yeah.
be aware of that.
So I started up Gears 5 to see how it runs on Series X. Runs really good. Looks really good. Bought Tales of Arise.
Ooh, tell me about Tales of Arise.
It is a must-have for Series X.
The best
Like-
Tales game thus far.
It's
Ooh, that's high
just
praise.
the music, the controls, the fighting. Like it actually feels like a Tales game. Like there's not too much technicality to it and everything. You literally could go in and just be able to like get through the fights and stuff. Like it's beautiful, like a mug. Like it makes Scarlet Nexus look bad.
Wait. People say like a mug still?
Ed does.
Yeah.
What decade is this?
It's the 90s.
Ed has always said that.
Yeah.
Really? This is the first time I'm hearing it. It's literally the first time I heard that phrase in 20 years, Ed.
Oh, like a mug? Yeah.
Like a mug. Yeah, wow. Jeez, that brought me back to high school.
Yeah, that's what we were saying today.
Like you ugly like a mug. Like, man, wow.
Yeah,
Bringing up
but-
the feels, Ed.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's a big nomination for at least JRPG Game of the Year for nominations.
Just RPG. Just RPG.
If I
Ed.
I mean, if from the way that people are taking it, they're really loving this game, and I can understand why. And it's really good. Like the demo that they gave just doesn't do it justice. Like it really is a fantastic game, and Playing it on Series X, like the loading time is so quick, the battles are quick. It feels so good to control and just play. And I'm like, this feels like Tales of Symphonia. This feels like an old school Tales game that I love.
Right. Can I piggyback off you on this, because I played this at length too.
Go ahead.
You can keep talking and I can kind of piggyback.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, the a lot of the older Tales games had like kind of linear plane fighting system where it was kind of like on like one 2D plane or whatever, but 3D graphics. I like that this is like kind of like more open now, like kind of the more previous games.
Yes.
But the combat is a little bit more fast paced. You have like attack. You have like what they call them arts, where you can do like special sword attacks or just special attacks in general. But yeah, you have like a limitation on how many special attacks you can use, because now it's like those little diamonds that are above your health bar. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, those are your special attack abilities, and then they, there's a cooldown period and stuff. But the combat is super fun. Like, you can execute combos with your teammates, your squad mates. You can do juggle mechanics and stuff, which is really fun and satisfying. And some of the special moves, my God, they really dialed it down, especially when you get all these like, the first area you're in like a fire volcano level. So like you got all these like fire abilities. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think the one thing that is weird to me is that the attack button is on the RB button.
Thank you. I was just saying that earlier.
It's because that's the popular thing now, is like Assassin's Creed did it. And well, actually Dark Souls did it first, but Assassin's Creed's did it. There's some other games that have been doing it too, where like your light attack is on the right bumper, your heavy attack's on the right trigger, and then, you have like a secondary attack on the left bumper and then like a shield on the left trigger. It's like this whole Dark Souls started this terrible thing.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. It is jarring, because a lot of times when I'm in combat and I'm kind of doing combos and stuff, I'm hitting the right trigger, and the right trigger is dodge.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, oh, I'm dodging. I guess there goes my combo.
and because definitely when you do like you're hitting them and you're about to attack up, sometimes you'll miss them, because by the time you hit the RB to do your regular melee attack, the enemy falls and you miss your attack, because you got to spend time trying to do like push your finger on the RB button to hit it. Like it's a kind of weird control scheme, but I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it.
Once you get it, everything starts to click really well. And yeah, there's plenty of opportunities for combat, so it's easy to pick up, but almost like difficult to master kind of thing.
Yeah. And last one that I'm playing, that I played and finished, was Lake. I think
finished it.
Yeah, I did. I finished it Monday. It's weird. It says that I spent 4 hours, but you probably in real time we would spend 8 hours in the game, depending what you all do. It's a little bit slow. And everything, but I'll have a review up later for Boss Rush if you guys want to read it. I can say I think people who are interested in this game should wait for a sale. It's a kind of not so much a walking simulator, where you are a character named Meredith Weiss, who take time off her busy job in the city and go to her old town where she's delivering mail while her mom and dad go on vacation in Florida. And then you meet different characters that you interact. You choose dialogues. You can romance one of them, one of the 3 characters, or you can romance nobody. It's literally up to you.
Who'd you go for? Did you go for anybody?
You
went for the lumberjack, didn't you?
I did. I actually did.
Of course you would.
Because it felt weird choosing. It didn't feel weird choosing the other characters. I won't like spoil it if people play it, but I think it kind of made sense picking the Lumberjack because of their relationship. I kind of like their dialogue choices, and that's how it kind of felt with that. It is a beautiful game. I will say it. When you're driving around the lake and you looking at the woods, it is beautiful. But does get to a point where it kind of looks a little. This is an indie game and stuff, and if they put a little work and detail in it, it would be fine. I did have a problem with it. It had a glitch where I just started the level and I was about to get into my mail carrier, and it warped me to the woods, which took me half an hour to walk back to my truck. Because
I have the sound glitch where all of a sudden I don't have any engine noise.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so
wow.
All I hear is that basically all I hear is the piping radio with that really just kind of not good folk rock music.
Oh yeah,
that soundtrack is just bad. I mean, it's okay. I shouldn't say it's bad. It's just not to my taste. But man, does that stuff like that? This game gives me nightmares, Ed. Like, I'll be in bed and I'm like, especially if I play this right before going to bed, like all of a sudden that entire soundtrack is in my head and I'm lying awake at night staring at the ceiling like, why can't I get these songs out of my freaking head? You know, it's like Nickelback, like it's stuck in your head and it doesn't leave.
Look at this photograph. Every time I see it, it makes me laugh.
Hey, it won't be a rock star.
It's another forgettable soundtrack. I advise you want something ambient.
Excuse
or something.
me, Nickelback is unforgettable.
Unforgettable, yeah.
I'm talking about Lake.
I'm telling you about. I'm through with standing in line to clubs I never get in. So
wow. Yeah, but and then I'm just about to start this Dead Space trilogy on my vacation. Get through those 3 games, but that's pretty much all I've been playing. That and Hellblade. I'm about to work on.
Nice. Stoy, are you playing anything other than Tales? What else are you playing?
I ended up playing Lake 2. I didn't beat it. But I have the weird sound glitch where like you're driving around, and I think that's the only main glitch that I encountered. But the one thing that really stuck out with Lake with me was like there are really a lot of choices in how you want to frame Meredith's character. Mm-hmm. Like you could be the type of person that's like kind of a bitch and like goes back to the town and just says, I'm just here on vacation and I'm just doing my thing. Your work continuously tries to call you while you're on vacation. So you could continually do work or completely blow them off depending on your conversation choices. And yeah, like kind of what Ed said, depending on, who you decide to romance, if you decide to romance anybody, kind of frames a little bit of like who you are. Are you the kind of like, light, easygoing person? Are you kind of more traditionalist type person? So the dialogue choices are pretty minimal. It's not like it's a conversation wheel that like, like Mass Effect or anything like that. Like it's there's my one mention of Mass Effect per podcast. So that I thought was really kind of a neat thing about it. Like I said, the game's graphics are all right. There's a lot of kind of weird glitches and just things, but I think it's a really good story. But if you'd have told me I'd be playing a game delivering mail in a small town, like I wouldn't have believed it. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like it. It's kind of quirky. Other than Tales, I ended up getting some significant time in Life is Strange: True Colors.
Ooh,
how's that?
Yeah, it's good. It's very interesting because I don't know if you ever played any of the Life is Strange games, but it always centers around a kind of like a character who has, I don't want to necessarily has any traumatic experience, but they have a superpower that is traumatic in and of itself. So like Max in the first Life is Strange had this ability to rewind time, so to speak, to kind of change the past. In the second one, the person had the ability to like levitate things, I think, if I recall. Mm-hmm. And then the third, obviously this one, True Colors, she has the ability, she's an empath, so she reads emotion and she responds to that emotion. So like if she sees someone, case in point, like there's a scene in the game where like these two guys are, and I'm going to spare details, but these two guys are fighting, and one guy is like really amped up. So your character Alex happens to be in the room at this time, and she read into that one character's really angry emotion, and that turned her violent, and she just beat this dude's ass, like just all of a sudden just became a completely different person. So that's how she responds to those emotions. And so like if someone has like really depressive emotions, that could kind of turn, really bad for her, where she all of a sudden becomes really depressed and oftentimes I think suicidal. So, but like most of the game, at least in the first episode that I've been playing, it's conversational and piecing, and you could be the character of like, well, screw this small town stuff, I'm just whatever. Or you could be kind of glad because, you're home and you're visiting your estranged brother again.
Is this still 5 episodes or?
Yeah, and it's all available now. Like they're not doing a scheduled release like they used to in the past. Yeah, I'm so glad they did it that way too, because a lot of times I would wait for all the episodes to release so I could just kind of binge through it. But this, when you buy the game, you get it all.
I remember Tell Me Why they released it in 1 episode a week, right?
Yeah.
I mean that was even better than the way they used to, because it used to just be random, and by the time like sometimes it would be like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and sometimes it would be like 3 months before an episode dropped, and you're like, well, I'm gonna lose interest,
Yeah, or you're gonna completely forget about it. So, yeah, I'm glad that they kind of away from that, and now the whole game is fully available. I think there's like a second. There's like if you get the deluxe edition, there is like a separate campaign with a different character from the series, who actually has ties into Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Well, Corey, the remaster ones for Switch is delayed, right? And the other ones, are they coming out?
They're all delayed for Switch, yeah. But
he said Switch, so I got to take a drink.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, well, for that one, because the remaster version for Xbox and PlayStation, I don't know when that one is coming out.
They got delayed too. All the the remasters of the first game and then Before the Storm are delayed till next year.
Oh, okay. That was the only thing I had to ask.
Which that seeing the comparison videos of like, this is what the original looked like and this is what the remastered looks like, and it's like, okay, barely noticeable.
I know there's like some lighting changes and some like better texture work, but other than that, it's like
barely noticeable.
What's to say?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, but I bet they run.
One Piece remaster.
I bet they run better though. That I'll give them that. I bet it runs better because I played the first episode of the first game, and it ran like crap.
Yeah.
So
the frame rate is like
it just ran like crap. So
yeah, this game, the game series is usually developed by Dotnod, and this one's developed by a different developer,
Deck 9,
which
did Before the Storm.
Before the Storm, yeah. So, but this game looks good. Like you're in this small Colorado town, a small little mining town, and it's like kind of like a really good, vibrant community. You're working at a bar, and there's a nice restaurant in there, and you go into a really cool little record store, and the motion capture they did with the characters is so good, and it makes everything so believable. Like, there was a lot of emotion in the earlier ones, but it was like the mocap wasn't the greatest, and but they like this one so far, it's been like really good. Like you really kind of feel for the characters a little bit more because you have that kind of like the good body mechanics and the good body movement. So
yeah,
but yeah, cool. Otherwise I downloaded a game out of whim, Song of Iron, on the Xbox. I don't know if you guys saw this in the Xbox store.
Yeah.
It's like a side-scrolling hack and slash game.
Oh, is this the one that's kind of like a Norse mythology, and it's like a side-scrolling? You're like you're wielding an axe and kind of like killing. So
guys. It's like Inside and all those kind of games.
Yeah. So it's like if Assassin's Creed Valhalla had a baby with Inside. That's basically what this is. So you're this guy who finds out that your village has been burnt down and your loved one is dead. So now you want to find the people who killed and decimated your village, and you need the help of the Norse gods to do it. And Yeah, I mean it's basic combat. I don't have too much to say about it, but it's pretty decent combat. The shields are breakable, so you have to pick up shields as you go if you want to use them. You can pick up axes and spears and swords and stuff like that as you go. So it's like weapons procurement, you know.
Is there like narration, like cutscenes or something?
No,
for the story.
Nope. It's basically just like text-based. You know, you'll encounter a conversation with someone, and then it'll be like just text-based in the bottom of the screen. It's a very basic, bare bones game. Like there is no opening cutscene to set up the story. It literally just jumps you right into the game. So, I want to say this is developed by one guy, because I checked out the developer's Twitter page, and it's just a picture of a guy on it. So it leads me to believe that it was kind of maybe developed by one person, but
yeah, I think that's one of those games that it was developed by a super small.
Yeah, which I'm all for. That's why it's like I saw the trailer for it and I was like, this looks kind of cool. And you know, the combat's a little bit slow, so you have to be a little bit smarter about it. It's not like a relentless hack and slash type game that you would think it'd be. So you got to be smart about your attacks. You have a bow and arrow sometimes you have to use to, you know, pluck off enemies in the distance, and you know, you got to be smart with your melee and your shields and rolling and dodging and stuff. But yeah, otherwise it's it's a pretty decent game. Is it worth the $20 I spent? I mean, I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen how much use I get out of it. But yeah, it's basically what I've been playing.
Nice. All right. Jesse, what are you playing?
Yeah, and actually, I think there's a game similar to that game that you played, that you just talked about, that was on Game Pass that I played a while back or something. I don't remember. I think there's another game similar to it, but
Wolverblade.
Yeah, maybe that's.
I still dream about that game. That was such a good. It's not Viking game. It's basically like you're in England and the Vikings invade your homeland, so you have to defend yourself from the Vikings.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Romans. The Romans. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I played a bunch of stuff, but I'll just pick. So I did, like I said last week, I finished the first Wolfenstein. So I started 2, and still kind of having a hard time getting into this one, for whatever reason, but. I did pick up Lost in Random, and I've been playing that, and I'm really enjoying that a lot. So this is that one that that we've seen that's kind of almost like a I don't know, it reminds me of Nightmare Before Christmas, or like something kind of like that kind of animation.
Tim Burton.
Yeah, like a Tim Burton kind of thing. But it's like a card game mixed with like action adventure, mixed with like dice rolling. You have to roll a dice, and then that dice determines how many points you can spend on your cards. So like each card will have like a 0, 1, 2, 3 or whatever on it. And so whenever you roll the dice, then that's how many points you can spend on cards that you have. And as you go through the game, you find new cards and stuff that give you new abilities and things like that. And what's kind of neat is, so like your main thing that you use as like kind of your weapon / tool is this slingshot. And so each enemy will have these little crystallized areas on their body that you have to shoot with the slingshot. And when you hit that point, then those crystal things break off, and those are your points that you can use to fill up like your ability to roll the dice, and then those also add points to your how much you can spend on cards that you want to play and stuff like that. And so like as far as the game goes, it's very, very simple and easy to get into. It's not like like some card games can be a lot where you've got a lot of things you got to pay attention to. Like, you know, this is a very, very light game on the card side. It's basically just giving you opportunities to do things. Because like when you first pick the cards you want to play, like everything freezes, and then but your character can move and do whatever, and then you can spend that or use that attack wherever you want to before, and then once you attack something, then everything unfreezes. So like there's one card I got where you can put a bomb, you can throw a bomb somewhere, but that bomb doesn't blow up unless you hit it. So what you could do is you can throw that bomb in the middle of like a bunch of guys that are frozen, then go off to the side, use your slingshot, hit the bomb, blow it, you know, like detonate it, and then everything will unfreeze, and then you got to go back to, you know, attacking the normal way. But yeah, so it's very light on that card side. So like if you're not really a big fan of card based games, I think
not me.
Yeah, I don't think this will bother people that don't like those kind of games, because it really is just kind of an added thing. It's not too deep in just that part of the game. So and you still go around, you know, not really platforming, but you kind of have to walk around and collect things. There's these little like crystal like little statue things that you can shoot with your slingshot too, and there are points I think you can use to buy stuff later, but they're hidden all throughout the map, and you can, you know, you kind of try to find them and collect them, you know, while you see them. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I like the character stuff, and I love the animation, and like just the things that I've, you know, the enemies and stuff I've gone against. Nothing has been like super difficult yet. It really is a lot like a, you know, almost like a Zelda game where you're trying to get those shots off, you know, and then kind of get in a position to be able to do your attacks and things like that. So you're, you know, getting distance and then moving in on them, kind of like you do in Breath of the Wild, you know, for certain enemies. It did really kind of remind me a little bit of that game, but yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm not super far into it yet. I've only gone against like the first, I think, kind of boss, which was fairly early on in the game. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And then I also downloaded the Artful Escape, and that's that game with the guitar shredding while you're like running around, the platforming and guitar playing
with Carl Weathers, bro.
Yeah, it's I like it. I mean, it's a pretty basic game for the most part. I think I heard it's only like 3 or 4 hours long or something like that. Yeah, so it's not a very long game. I haven't.
How much does this game cost by itself? If it's that short,
I honestly don't know, because it's in Game Pass. So
right. So it's no big deal for you.
Yeah. That's I don't remember. I'm guessing it can't be more than a $20 game.
It's $20 on Steam, so I gotta imagine it's the same on the Xbox store.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially it's a platformer mixed with Simon Says. Like I haven't gotten too far into it, because I'll be honest, a lot of the beginning of this game is just nothing but narration, and like
Tales of Arise, like the beginning of that. Ed, how much dialogue did you have to go through just to find the title? Yeah.
Yeah, this game has a lot of you know, storytelling in the back of it, or in the beginning of it, and like, you know, like you get a basic kind of understanding how things are going to work. There is a little bit of gameplay, but it's mostly just going and talking to people, and then, you know, walking over to this place and talking to this person, and then having to go to this person and go to this, and then just a whole bunch of cutscenes and a lot of explanation of what's happening, why it's happening, you know, all this stuff. But essentially, like, you know, without really going too in depth on it, you're supposed to play this concert in the town to remember your uncle's I think like I forget how many years it is. It's like a 20th anniversary or something like that for his album. And so you're gonna go and perform a bunch of his songs or whatever in memory or whatever. And then these aliens show up at your house and abduct you, and then it goes kind of from there.
That's how that goes, right?
Yeah. So your character is kind of having a crisis and of sorts of not really. He likes playing the folk kind of music that his uncle does, but he also would like to be a little bit more heavier and, you know, do more like, you know, guitar solos, and, you know, he's not quite sure what he wants to do. And so like this opportunity comes along where he's kind of pushed into being that different side of him, to you know, save whatever. I don't quite know exactly what's going on as far as end game.
Selling me on this story.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun.
It's a psychedelic trip.
Yeah, it's
so is the gameplay kind of like, if you guys ever played the Rayman games, like the more recent ones, where like they have those little you know, it'll be like a runner type game.
Yep.
And it's like playing the music in the background. Is it kind of similar to that, I imagine?
Yeah, for the most part. I think like essentially, yeah, like what you're doing is like something will be playing you know, a song, and then you've got to play with them.
Yeah.
And
yeah, what it kind of looked like for me.
Yeah, and like you can hold down the X button while you're running and you'll just shred the whole time. And like in some areas like that, like when you'd shred the guitar, it would like make stuff light up and make stuff happen. So I don't know if that's gonna be like part of the like if there's gonna be any kind of like puzzle solving or anything where you've got to use your guitar to solve it. You know, again, I'm not super far into it yet, because that whole beginning of the game took a big chunk of time just to kind of get through the start of everything. So, but yeah, it's interesting enough to keep me playing and to find out, you know, what the story is. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to finish that, especially if it's a shorter game. You know, I'll probably even finish that later tonight. And then the last thing is I finally jumped into the Ascent. I think there was a recent update to fix some issues on the consoles.
I kind of like held off on playing this game the last couple weeks because one of my last gameplays I just had I kind of had a few bugs.
Okay.
So I was like, I think we'll wait.
Okay. Yeah, because I believe that game was in my updates menu on my you know, my queue or whatever. Yeah, it was I don't know. It's been so long since I've played a game like this. Like I used to play load and reload back in the day, you know, like those kind of games. And honestly, it's been a long time since I've really played like a twin stick kind of shooter type game. So it took me a little getting used to, but I really love the world and the detail, you know, the attention to detail in the design of these worlds and like where you are and stuff like that. and it's funny because it's like it's from the little bit I've played of Cyberpunk, like I like the worlds a lot better in this game than I did in Cyberpunk from what I had, experienced anyways. Right. Like it is very, very full of people. Like you're constantly like bumping into shoulders of people like walking through areas. It's very heavily, popularized or and has just, there's a lot of just crazy things to look at and just weird stuff. And like it, at times it did almost get hard to find some of the things like the boxes and stuff that you have to break open, that you can break open to get like collect things or whatever. Like it just, it's a fun game though. Like I'm as well not too far into this one either. So, but I just kind of wanted to try some of the newer stuff that I had, heard people talk about, or like Lost in Random, I think literally just came out this week. So,
yeah.
So, but that's one I had been looking forward to since it got announced. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. So.
Cool. Well, for me, I haven't really been playing anything that interesting. It's mostly been the new season in Destiny and some Psychonauts 2. I'm not that much farther in Psychonauts than I was last week, so nothing really new to report. It's like that game's a game that I really want to like a lot, but I just, every time I play it, after about 45 minutes to an hour, I'm like, I think I'm good. I think I'm done for now. And then, it's not a game that I want to sit and play for a long time for some reason. And I don't know what it is. Like, I like the characters. I think it's charming. I think the art style is great. And the writing is really good. But, like, I don't know. It after, like, an hour, I'm just like, I'm good for now. So.
What part are you at?
I'm only, like, 3 or 4 hours in. I'm at towards the end of, like, the casino level, so it's like kind of like real like the first real level. Honestly, if you were like mainlining it, it's probably only about 2 hours in, but every time I go to a new place, I'm like searching every nook and cranny for the little collectibles and the kind of like the drawing kind of things that you collect. So and the cards, the site cards are cool collectibles too, so I'm just kind of like searching. So I know you have to like level up specific powers and get new powers to reach certain places to get the rest of it and go back to previous levels, but I try to get what I can while I'm there. So
I'm a little further than you. I'll wait till you get to the point.
Yeah. One thing I never asked, because I never played the first one. I mean, do you have to have an understanding of the first one to know what's going on in the second one? They
actually do like at the very beginning when you start the game, they do here's what happened in the first game, because I think they know a lot of people didn't really play the first game.
It was like what, 15 years since the first one.
Yeah, there's actually like jokes in the game about how long it's been, but like for the players who played the first game, it's been like 15 years, but in terms of the game, it's only been about 3 days. Since the last game. So there's jokes and stuff in there like for that, but they do a really good recap of the first game, because I played the first game, I never beat it, so
I did.
It's so that's kind of all I've been playing. The new season in Destiny is, I'm just trying to like, I don't know, like I am ready for the next real expansion, because like when they drop a new season within the expansion, there's like a new story beat every week. And it's like they update the quest and you do like 3 to 5 steps of this quest, and then the rest of it won't unlock till the next week. And it's like, it's just like a grind. It's just the hamster wheel, it's just the RPG hamster wheel of like getting your pinnacles done and finding your enhancement prisms to masterwork gear and trying to find the right build for the season. And so that's kind of where I'm at there. So Nothing really new to report. I did try Trials this weekend though, and that was a neat experience, I'll say. So it's like the super competitive PvP mode. So for anybody out there that doesn't know.
Yeah, not the motorcycle game.
No.
I wonder when the Witch Queen comes out, they're going to be another physical copy, like a deluxe version.
It's not. They haven't done physical copies for Destiny since Forsaken, so.
No, you're making me on, damn.
I know. It's been a.
So they're just going to keep it digital.
Yeah, it's all digital now. So, sorry, Ed. You're gonna have to buy something on the internet.
Probably go to the dollar store and find like a physical copy of it.
No, I still got my original physical.
Like I did with all those add-on parts for what's that one spaceship game that had
Starlink?
Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah.
I
went
there. Man, those things are super cheap now.
I know.
Yeah, I went to the dollar store and just bought all the add-on pieces for your ships.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because like the first Destiny, they had like the deluxe versions after their expansions came out. So I was wondering if they was going to do the same thing with the Witch Queen.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think what was the last one? The Forbidden King or something like that. Whatever it was, that was the last physical copy. Title.
Right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So
because it came with everything up to season 2. Never happened.
Yeah, that sounds right. Because I think I remember seeing that on that iconic picture for that season on the front cover.
What are you doing there, Jesse? What is that? What is
I'm having my own personal
Are you okay?
Wow.
Hit your lifeline button if you need help.
all I know is that in there the Bungie store is selling these statues, these 12-inch statues of the characters, and they're starting to do more and more of them, and I'm like, I need them. I'm sitting at the one that supposedly comes out tomorrow. I'm like, 2, I get it. I don't know. I want it. I have the other 2, and now there's 2 more. It's that collectible thing in me, man. I gotta get them all now. I already own 2, so I should just get them all.
I've had to squash that side of me. I've tried to squash that side of me for years now. I have bought some things here and there, but man, it used to be so bad. My friends got me into that hero click crap, buying all that crap, and I think I've only played it maybe twice.
Yeah.
I spent like hundreds of dollars on that shit.
I have a bunch of statues behind me that I'm like, I probably don't need all these, especially because like I bought them and I'm like, I really like this game at this point in my life, and then I just haven't thought about that game in forever, and I'm like, somebody would like these. I could probably sell them,
The Disney Infinity stuff.
No, oh no, not those. No, come on, Ed. Use your brain. How long have you known me? Come on. Come on.
Yeah, Stoy. The hero clicks was you'd get like a blind box that had a bunch of like Marvel characters in it, DC characters, any kind of like comic book characters, and they had a little dial on the bottom of them that would determine their rarity. Like there'd be different color rings on it, and you'd click the things over to choose your, like, whenever you'd get attacked, like you'd have to move the click 1 more or 2 more to show how much health you had left. And it was a whole tabletop like kind of game where you could play these characters against other ones, and there was a card that gave the information of where you'd start, and you basically would fight against like your friends, and have kind of, you pick your army of superheroes or whatever you wanted to use. It was one of those kind of games where you'd buy a box.
Sounds expensive.
Sounds
was
really
like
expensive.
I think it was like $8 for like a pack of three characters or something like that. So or more than that.
All right, we're gonna move into news. There's not much news, but there are 2 really interesting stories, I think, especially this first one. I'm really interested in, and now seeing these images and seeing what kind of game it really is going to be, it has me way more interested in it. Images of the Xbox exclusive Redfall have appeared to appear to have an online leak. There was supposedly a tester has taken screenshots and has used this weird Twitter thread to post these screenshots. Apparently this is going to be a Borderlands Dishonored meets The Division style game, which is, you know, something that we thought, but this really seems like, hey, that we're just going to drop all kinds of weird stuff for you to pick up. And this actually, seeing these screenshots actually has me way more interested in this game than I originally was. Not that I wasn't interested, but it actually, like, you know, being a big Destiny fan, and I actually really liked what I played of The Division. Like, I feel like this is
it actually had me more intrigued than before. I mean, I kind of agree with you there because the whole, like, I was expecting it to be kind of more Dishonored, but now that I see, like, there's like a little bit of like weapons customization that's, you know, kind of reminiscent of Borderlands and The Division, I was like, okay, there's a little bit more depth to this than what, you know.
Yeah. And
let's believe.
And the screenshots looks like you can play either in first or third person, which is something I really like, because I would actually like to play this game in third person for some reason. Like, it feels like a game that I would really want to play in third person. So yeah, I really think that these screenshots make it look like I want to play this game even more. I know people were like really it's like, these are pre-alpha screenshots. People were really like upset about what this game looks like. I'm like, if you looked at Destiny,
they're like a year old.
Yeah, if you looked at Destiny's or Halo's pre-alpha footage or screenshots and stuff, you would like you would laugh. I was looking.
Well, you remember what Borderlands looked like
before
they turned all cell shaded? Like, it looked like a standard run of the mill Mad Max style game. Like, it was uninspiring and just kind of boring.
Yeah, I remember Game Informer did a cover story on Borderlands, and it was all that. Yeah. They didn't even have any of the cell shader stuff.
Well,
I remember that cover.
Yeah.
Well, that's like that video that they showed of the gameplay of the remake of Dead Space. Like, you know, like, it's just like there's so much like things that they just don't turn on or don't do or fix or make look like the final version until like literally a week before it's gonna be released.
That's why, gamers, you need to chill and wait and wait.
I think it looks good though. Like, for pre-alpha stuff, I think it looks good. I think a lot of it looks good.
Right. The UI looks good. The UI looks good. Yeah.
They don't look bad. It don't look bad. They don't have nothing generic about it. Like, the lighting looks good, and I think a lot of people are going to be excited when they play it when it comes out. So it looks good to me.
Yeah, for me, like, you know, that first video thing that we got, it may not have been gameplay or whatever, but like, for me, I just like, the characters really intrigued me with this. Like, I was in when I seen it, as long as they focus on the personalities that we seen in that first video and really like move the game forward with really having that personality be a key to you know, the progression of the game. Like, that's really what I care the most about, like, because these kind of games, like, I mean, it may not, you know, like, the final game may not look perfect or, you know, ultra realistic, but that's not, like, every game doesn't need to be like that. I get so annoyed because, like, you know, like, Sony has kind of like made this you know, like, world where all these games have to look ultra realistic now, or otherwise they're not as good, you know, and it's just not, it just doesn't need to be that way.
I think this art style that they're going for is fitting it, because if you look at the announcement trailer, it is kind of goofy, not B-rated or anything go over the top, but it has a style and it has a feel to it. And just looking at this, I think it's going to be like the way that people are going to be playing together, doing combos and working as a team and stuff. This somewhat cartoony / realistic look to it, I think it's just gonna work for it. I think this leak is not hurting the game, and if people are mad about it, just wait and give it time. Once they put in like more production and the game comes out, or we see more trailers for it, I think people are going to change their attitude and be like, yeah, I'm going to get that game, and they'll probably be, I'll play it on Game Pass, something like that.
Yeah, unfortunately there's just a lot of people who really, really want to try to keep these console war stuff alive, and they'll just pick any ridiculous dumb thing to complain about, and without any kind of knowledge whatsoever of what the thing that they're even complaining about. And
let them get butthurt. That's their problem to deal with.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like I've tried to just ignore that stuff for a while now, but yeah, it's just like it yeah, and like when I remember when we first seen this too, like it kind of reminded me a little bit of Saints Row, and like it kind of has that feel to it, of that like goofiness, but like characters that are like really badass and you want to cheer for. So
yeah, and it looks like this game is pretty deep in development, so I would imagine we'd probably see it next year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
yeah.
We should squat up and play some on a stream or something. Sounds like a team game. We should be playing.
I call the guy with the hood and his big sniper rifle.
Cool.
Or the robot. If the robot's playable, I'm in.
Stoy is a designated robot.
Black chick.
Yeah.
My favorite is the black chick. I loved her in that first.
I mean, it probably has like a pretty deep character customization option, though, right? I mean, I'm sure a game like this needs a customization. It better be better than Borderlands and Destinies. I'll tell you that much. God, Destinies is just like don't even bother at this point.
It has options.
Yeah. So.
But I think part of that is because so much of that game is the stuff you have to unlock to make your character.
I know, but I like to see my player's face, Jesse. I like to see my beautiful Awoken Titan's face. Okay.
That's not gonna get them to spend money on on buying stuff for your character.
I don't care. All right, moving on. Halo Infinite's multiplayer preview is returning and will introduce Big Team Battle. Not much other news here, but the test is expected to begin on September 24th for Halo Insiders, and I'm excited for some Big Team Battle. I did play the test flight the last time, and it was really fun. Like I was surprised at how much Halo 3 DNA was in that. Like it really felt like Halo 3.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it felt like an evolution of Halo 3. It felt like, so if you're looking at the DNA of what happened after Halo 3, like you look at Reach and you look at obviously the way Destiny went, and then what happened with Halo 4, right? Like they all kind of felt different, right? Reach kind of had the sprint ability, but you had to have it it was like an armor mod or whatever they called them. And Halo 4 kind of went I don't want to say the Call of Duty direction, but it felt more like a modern first-person shooter and didn't really have that Halo feel. I liked Halo 4 a lot, personally, but...
Can I ask you a question?
No, I'm talking, Ed.
Oh.
What do you want?
Aw, Ed.
What do you want?
Because Halo 4 was developed by Retro.
Nope. That's 343.
I thought it was because Halo 4 had like a Metroid Prime feel.
They hired some of the art team from Retro when they left Retro. It wasn't developed by Retro.
Okay.
So.
No, yeah, definitely not. I think 4 was the first title that 343 Studios took over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I guess it was Saber that did the Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, but yeah, it was. Halo 4 was like the first full release from 343.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Yeah, because I know people were just saying like people from Retro was working on it, so that's why I was just
some of the art design, but they this felt like if they took the DNA of Halo 2 and 3 and kind of evolved how that feels. Like there's still a sprint button, there's still, you know, some modern differences, but it felt like Halo. It was kind of, Halo really has that distinct movement, you know, like when you're running around and kind of jumping feels kind of floaty, and the weapons have this really distinct feel. The weapons felt great. The weapons felt and sounded great, which was awesome. So the new weapons felt great. The old weapons really felt like they took the DNA of what people like about them, and they just made them feel better in that style, which they've been kind of playing around with in Halo 5 a little bit, where they actually added the quote-unquote Halo 2 battle rifle into the game. Like there's the battle rifle, and then there's the Halo 2 battle rifle, which is kind of hilarious. But the fact that they're adding big team battle in, and it seems more of like a, hey, we're actually going to let you play against other players the whole time, and because that first test flight, the first 2 or 3 days was just bots, and they didn't unlock PvP until like the last day. So, but it looks cool. I hope they have vehicles in here, which it looks like they will.
So how big are these big team battles? Like how many people?
I think big team battle, it's always been, I think it's been 16 versus 16.
Okay.
I think this time around it's way bigger, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, if, you know, the whole rumor like months ago about there being like a battle royale game or a battle royale mode in this. I wonder if this is kind of their answer. Like if they're going to be making these like teams bigger, like we're talking like MAG. MAG.
Yeah. I don't.
100 player. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say in this article. I don't. I'm not sure, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't say in this article either. So I was like wondering, like, how big are these battles going to be? Because I mean, they have the hardware now that they can run. Like,
it used to be 16 versus 18, I think, or was it 8v8? I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. I swear it was.
I thought it was 12v12 for big team.
I don't know. If only we had boxes in front of us that could tell us these things. Halo, big team battle size.
So wait, you're just typing that into your computer and it's going to give you a result, an answer?
Sure is.
What?
Halo Infinite's big team battle will have 24 players, making it the largest yet. So, okay, so it used to be 8v8. They're moving it to 12v12.
Oh. Wow. So your computer just told you that?
Yeah, it did.
Dude.
I know.
These computers are becoming so smart.
Yeah,
I know.
I think there's just been so much talk about like other games multiplayers going up in numbers. So I
think because isn't Battlefield 64v64 or something at this point?
I think so. Yeah,
something insane like that. Which I mean,
that's a lot.
Halo Infinite and Battlefield right now are the two games I'm probably looking most forward to this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for this. Did any of you guys play the test flight the last time?
No, I did not. I signed up for that too late, or I didn't even sign up for it. I just
I'm not part of it.
Well, and even if I could have, would have been available for it, I ended up being gone that weekend, so I wasn't even around my Xbox anyway. So I was out of luck basically.
Oh, okay. Well, I had fun. I killed some bots, and they teabagged me when they killed me, which was apparently not supposed to be in the game, but it was.
Yeah, I watched some people play it on Twitch.
Yeah.
But that was about it.
I think I was just waiting for the final product, so I could just like play it all.
Don't worry, you'll probably download it and then not play it like you do with all your demos, right?
What you talking about?
Anyways, all right. So our last story here, it's more of a PSA. By the time you guys hear this, Forza Motorsport will be driving into the sunset in September, specifically on September 15th. So this show is live now on Sunday night. It will be live on Tuesday morning, which means you have approximately 24 hours to purchase Forza Motorsport 7 before you can no longer play it or find a random physical copy somewhere.
Yeah, which those have been increasingly hard to find with all the, even the past Forza titles, actually, because I didn't realize this at the time, because when I first heard this news story a couple months ago, I didn't realize that a lot of the Forza games have been delisted from the store.
Yeah.
So after all the Forza Motorsport games, you can no longer download them digitally. So after this game gets delisted from the store, the only Forza game you could download digitally, purchase, I should say, is 4.
Yeah. 4,
which is weird because
Horizon 5.
Which is weird because a lot of them were on games with gold.
It's,
I wonder if people.
Yeah, they usually give these out for games with gold at some point before they're delisted. But
and a lot of them, I mean, especially this more recent one, Forza Horizon 4 and Motorsport are all on Game Pass for free as well, obviously.
Yeah, this is this car games usually get delisted because of car licensing deals.
Yeah,
and they it used to not matter because they say, oh, we're going to license this product for this game or whatever, and it's going to last for 5 years. Well, now that games are becoming more of a service and DLC is a thing and digital distribution is a thing, when they make these deals, they don't make them, they're made years in advance. So some of this stuff could have been before even Game Pass was thought of. This game was probably in development at some point. So
yeah,
the average car licensing deal I was reading when Forza Horizon 3 got delisted, I was reading only lasts about 5 years.
Yeah, 4 to 5 years.
Because that's usually the development cycle of a game, and the next entry will be out, and by the time the next game is out, the license for the last game will run out. But it doesn't matter because they want you to buy the new game, etc. So, so this is it's sad, but also this is the way that licensing and digital distribution works. So I hope that anybody who wants it will purchase it digitally or physically. And
if you listen to this and you go download it right now, it's actually 75% off.
Yeah, you can actually buy the Ultimate Edition with all the DLC for $20 right now. So, which is a pretty good deal. But
I wonder.
My thing is, I wonder how this service game is going to work, because nobody's ever done a racing game as a service before. Which I think the next Forza Motorsport and Gran Turismo 7 are going to be service games. So I wonder how the licensing is going to work for that.
I really don't think it can be. I mean, we're talking you would have to peg that game to be the game to have for years and years.
Well, that's their plan, though, right?
Well, that's all speculation at this point, but from what I understand of it, but the licensing on that would be just terrible. You would have to reissue a new or reapply for a new license every 4 or 5 years for a game that you hope to last for 8 years. I don't know. They
would almost have to hey, we're gonna license this car for this season pass or whatever, and then once that season pass expires, you can't get that car anymore. But if you unlock the car, how does that, you know what I mean? How do you?
Yeah, similar to what you do in Fortnite right now. I mean,
yeah,
you buy those products, and then they that stuff only exists for so long because they kind of lose the rights to it, and then they have to re-up it if they want to re-release those characters again.
I wonder if Microsoft is going to talk about that business plan.
I mean, they're gonna have to, right? I mean, in some, maybe not on a stage somewhere, but in an interview or something, when they're doing the marketing cycle for this game, they're gonna have to talk about how the cars are licensed in this game, because if they're really planning on their games being service games moving forward, we're already seeing that with Halo Infinite with their season passes. We're seeing it with probably Redfall, I mean, a lot of their games are going to move this way, it seems like. So State of Decay, I'm sure, is going to be at some point this type of game. So they're going to have to explain licensing stuff at some point.
That's why I don't think licensing, if they want the next Forza to be games as a service, I think it would be impossible and hugely expensive.
Yeah.
So I think so.
But that's also a cost Microsoft can probably eat just to make sure this game is something that they want it to be, you know? I mean, not that they want to eat some sort of big chunk of money on every game, but like if you have that Game Pass revenue coming in, if the people are buying the season passes or the battle passes or car passes or whatever, like that's gonna be the revenue stream for them eating this cost up front, you know.
That's why I wonder if they're gonna sell like just a $70 edition that gives you most of the stuff instead of going a la carte.
Well, I mean, it's going to be like Halo Infinite. You buy if you buy it physically or you buy the game digitally, you get the first season pass with the game, right? So,
right. Yeah, I mean, that's where, like I said, the Motorsport series is a simulation racing game. Mm-hmm. It's definitely, compared to Horizon, it's the least popular one, even though it's the longest running one. If they were to do, I would see them doing this games as a service thing with Horizon 5 or 6, I should say, because the Horizon series appeals more to a broader audience. But with the Motorsport series, I don't know. I just really don't think it could work. I don't think it would be financially feasible.
I would totally agree with you, Stoy, if they wouldn't have removed the number from the title of the next game.
Right. Yeah.
That's why all this is in question.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's easier for them to add to the like the regular one. Just say, hey, we're adding this racetrack and these cars, whereas the Horizon ones are more based in like an actual place in the world, like, you know, like everything is set around this country, you know, like, whereas with the other one, it's just about the tracks and the places you're playing for the most part. So I think that's why it's easier to do it for that.
Horizon is more forgiving and arcadey, so I think that's why more people lean to it. I would love to see the player base, and I think that player base is going to tell how they go about their business with Motorsport, because I don't know how big it is with Forza. Gran Turismo I can't really speak on because that has some ups and downs on PlayStation. But I would love to see how the numbers come out when Microsoft reported on it. Be like, we got like 3.5 million players playing this game. And I think that's probably going to tell how they're going to go about their business and their season passes and stuff. Because I'm like, did you charge a season with tracks and cars, or is it going to be where they do sell a season with certain tracks and certain cars, but if you want the big Toyota expensive deluxe cars, you got to buy this kind of DLC for all of that? And how many cars are going to come along with it?
I could see them doing a battle pass style thing, honestly, where
get that battle pass stuff out of my Forza. I hate all this talk. All right,
so we're gonna
Motorsport game.
We're gonna end the talk. Just a PSA: if you don't buy it before September 15th, you are can't get it anymore unless you find it at a local game store. So
that's why you buy physical. That's why you buy physical. Physical.
Speaking of physical, it's time for our segment. Pass it on. What's coming to Game Pass this week?
Sick. Oh, is that me?
Yeah, that's you. Stoy.
So,
what's coming to Game Pass this week?
Have you ever wanted to play a skateboarding game as a bird?
Yeah,
I did. It's called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yeah, okay, all right. I mean, we all know Tony Hawk looks like a bird. But
the
we're
bird
talking
man.
Like a literal bird. Literal bird.
He is.
You want to be a
man.
pigeon?
No.
You want to be a pigeon, literal pigeon, or any other form of bird? Download Skatebird. This comes out day one release on September 16th on Game Pass. And you guys remember Tenchu? Anybody? I know that's part of that other system family, but Aragami was like kind of like a Tenchu style clone that came out. I didn't much care for it, but apparently a lot of people didn't care for it, and it's getting a sequel.
Enough people cared about it that they decided to make another one.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I just learned that Tenchu was what Sekiro was originally called.
Bro, when did you just learn this?
It to Sekiro.
When did you learn this?
Like last week.
Oh boy, here, Jesse. Oh God. Anyway, yeah. So that's why there's so many similarities to Tenchu and Sekiro. Anyway, Origami 2. That's the sequel. I think one of the newest things for this one is going to have co-op now, so you can stealth and kill with broken controls in co-op.
Neat.
I'm sure they fixed it, but
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Otherwise, you got Sable coming out. This one's kind of like a Journey style floaty game with a walking simulator.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess it's hard for me to watch this. It's like an open world game, but I don't know. How do you explain Journey to someone?
You walk to the light.
Yeah,
and you die,
and that's it. You get to the top of the mountain. That's it.
I'm sorry. Can I just say something real quick about Journey?
Go for it.
That game is incredibly overrated.
I totally agree with you.
That game did absolutely nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I tried, and I was honestly like, I get it. It's trying to tell a story without saying anything, whatever. I was so bored the entire time I played that game.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get as emotionally attached as what people said. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so heart-wrenching, and just the underlying themes of the game. I'm like, it's fucking.
To be fair, I also played that game like 5 or 6 years after it originally came out, and then because it was free on PlayStation 4, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll try it since it's free, and then
I don't think I don't think it would have mattered. I think you probably would have had the same feelings.
It looks good in motion. That's all I can say about it.
To be fair, I have a lot of quote unquote hot takes about video games that people love. So whatever.
Give me one more. Give me one more.
Oh, God, I think BioShock is overrated. I don't like BioShock at all.
Okay. Well, I didn't much care for BioShock Infinite's ending. I thought it was a stupid ending.
I hate that last fight.
I'm kind of with you on that one. Lemniscate. Apparently, this game has been delayed after delay after delay, but we're finally going to see it on Game Pass the 28th. Well, Sable is coming out on 23rd. Origami 2 is coming out on 17th. But Lemniscate you got coming out on the 28th, and apparently this is a turn-based first-person sci-fi shooter.
Yeah.
Neat.
I don't know, but we'll see. September 30th, you're going to get Astria Ascending as well. This is also a turn-based, but this is a JRPG. So this is kind of like a ode to the classics, the old PlayStation 1 era Final Fantasy RPGs. So yeah, neat. This one's coming out on the 30th as well. So
beautiful art style.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
love tactic games. So.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me, like the art style kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Vanillaware style gameplay. Like Odin Sphere and Miramasa, the Demon Blade and stuff. So what was the other one? Demon's Souls?
Demon's Crown. No.
Demon's Crown. That's
something.
Dragon's Crown.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's fine.
Yep. So
it's fine.
Yeah, whatever. But
whatever.
Yeah, it looks really good. So expect that on the 30th as well. So yeah, that's kind of what's coming out in the second half of the first half of the month of September was bigger, but like this is kind of what's coming out at the end of the month. That's all that's been confirmed. So
neat.
Definitely lots of stuff to play.
Dude, Game Pass is it's just so nice to have.
It's I'll be honest. I honestly think this is my favorite console release out of all the Xboxes that I've got, because like Game Pass has made a difference. Yeah, they're not every single game that's come out has been these massive AAA games, but so many of the indie games have really, really been exciting me, getting me excited and giving me something that I legit am enjoying playing. So I don't know, man. Just the way they're doing things with indie games, and especially bringing a lot of that stuff day one to Game Pass, it's just been an awesome year in my opinion.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move into our topic of the week. So there's been a lot of for people that maybe don't follow PlayStation as much, their big PlayStation showcase was this week, and they showed off a lot of really cool first party games. And a lot of people were kind of concerned about PlayStation's first party output, considering these consoles have been out for almost a year at this point.
Yeah.
And there's been very little exclusives on both platforms, to be quite fair, and most of them are cross gen. And the topic again that's been coming up has been Xbox has no games, and I'm kind of tired of hearing about Xbox not having any games, but I kind of want to go over what the first party has announced for Xbox, especially after PlayStation showed off God of War Ragnarok, which looks really cool. Horizon is coming in February. Spider-Man and Wolverine look really cool. They've got a lot of cool things coming, granted in the far-flung future, right? I mean, a lot of the games that they showed aren't coming out really anytime soon, but they've got stuff coming, and I just want to take this time to remind people that own Xbox and have Xbox and are invested in the Xbox ecosystem that, yes, Xbox actually has a ton of stuff announced and coming. So first of all, I want to know what you guys think of this thing that people just keep saying that Xbox has no games, because Xbox has actually delivered more first party titles than PlayStation has this gen so far.
Oh, absolutely agree. I mean, when you look at the list, like, granted, it may not be the big AAA blockbusters that, Sony's trying to put behind. I think just in sheer quantity, Microsoft is paving the way, and it's got something for everybody. It's got its RPGs, it's got its shooters, it's got its racing titles, it's got its strategy games, it's got the walking simulators, it's got everything, something for everybody. Mm-hmm. Granted, maybe you may have to kind of do some searching and discover what's around there, but that's what Game Pass is for. A lot of these first-party games, if not all the I think all the first-party games are out there for Game Pass right away. Mm-hmm. So the world's your oyster in that sense.
Mm-hmm. So I think people feel that when it comes to PlayStation, you got Returnal that came out, you got Ratchet and Clank. This year, Microsoft had the Medium and Psychonauts 2. We still got Halo Infinite and Forza 5 coming out. I think a lot of people feel like with Microsoft, because a lot of stuff is coming out in 2022, people feel like Sony got the jump for them because of those games that came out. There's no really, I'm not saying there's no must-haves for Xbox, but because of E3, with everything being out of 22, people feel like Xbox, you have 2 years to have stuff out and you don't got nothing. And they feel like when seeing what PlayStation is doing, certain gamers will feel like PlayStation is leading because they had 3 games or something come out. And I think some gamers just don't give Microsoft the credit what they're doing. Like, even though they got a lot of stuff coming out in 2022, there's a lot of stuff to play. Like you guys mentioned on Game Pass, there's a lot of stuff to go back that has been enhanced for people to play and recognize. So it's not like Microsoft isn't doing anything. And even if they weren't doing as much that people wanted them to do, they're gearing up for a bigger year. Mm-hmm. And with them gearing up with a bigger year, look, Sony, everybody could root for Sony all they want, but if you don't got no systems that people could buy, your list of games don't mean nothing. Microsoft over the summer have been putting systems out, getting people ready for the games that's coming.
Well, and
so, Eddie, you're scaring me, man. You're really angry, man.
Well, because I think that the thing about it is people forget E3 and forget that all the hot titles that's coming from Xbox. Microsoft is gearing up for a bigger year. Yes, they may not release anything, but look, if games are still getting done by some other company games, it don't matter what you release. It don't matter what you come out with. I feel like Microsoft, you got Bethesda, and they're gearing up for a strong 2022. Microsoft got stuff in. Microsoft has learned from Nintendo. We're not going to show you nothing something, we're shutting our mouths when we feel like we're ready to do it. But that's the lesson. That's the lesson that they took. They're not saying nothing until they're ready. They learned with Halo Infinite how people responded to that. So they're learning to be like, we need to show stuff ready when we feel like it's ready. And when it rolls out, then what they're going to say about it. You can't say that Microsoft don't have no games when we got stuff ready to go out.
Well, how many exclusives do you think PlayStation has coming out? I mean, that's why do you think they're pushing so hard for Deathloop? Yeah. Every PlayStation showcase this past year, there's always been a 10-minute trailer for Deathloop.
Yeah, and I don't think anything
between us, I could give a shit about Deathloop. I mean, I just don't like the roguelike elements of it. So it's like it's like that, you know, that Mean Girls meme where it's like you're trying to make it something like Deathloop is going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, not for me at least. I don't think it's going to be their big exclusive title that they're going to expect this year. But you know, yeah, I mean, we're talking like there's some exclusive title coming out for Microsoft every month for the rest of the year. You know, so
yeah. Part of the thing is like more than ever right now.
Jesse, I knew you were going to say Death Stranding is a big exclusive for PlayStation this year, but you're wrong. That's a PlayStation 4 title. That doesn't count. Yeah, Get out of here with that. No, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to bring it up.
That game doesn't even exist in my world.
Because that's what Sony does. Sony's like, hey, look at this. Remember this game you played here a year ago? Here you go again. We're going to make you buy it again because it's how we do it. You know, whereas Microsoft is like, hey, you want a free update? Here you go.
This is the thing is like right now, like there's so many things to play on all the systems, and it really is a matter of where you're looking. You know, like I said earlier, like this has been a great year. There's been so many great indie games coming out that are, you know, timed exclusives, and there's been some, you know, bigger, you know, like bigger, smaller titles that have come out that I was looking forward to. Like you said, The Medium, that I believe now you can play that on PS5 and stuff, which is great. Yeah. You know, like that, like it may not be like a super massive AAA title, but that doesn't mean that it's not something that is there to play. Like just because you don't see it as something you're interested in, that doesn't mean there's nothing to play. Because I could say that about every single God of War game then, that if those are nothing to play because I don't like them, that doesn't interest me. That doesn't mean that that's not there to play. I think it's not something I want to play doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I think gamers have limited themselves to what they like to play. You can have the hottest list of games, but people still go back to the old stuff. You know, like look at PlayStation. Oh, we got Ratchet and Clank. We got people playing Monster Hunter. People playing Destiny, old school Call of Duty and Fortnite. So and they got all of these hot games. Like I just don't understand when people say we don't got nothing coming. Even if they did have something coming, are you going to go support and play that game, or are you going to return back to the old stuff that you are familiar with?
I have a complete list here of what all of Xbox's first parties are working on.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same one that I have.
The Windows Central one.
Yeah.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
No, Jesse. No.
This is my opinion on the whole thing too. Is like, you know, we understand, especially these last couple of years has been really difficult as far as work, you know, the work life and stuff like that for these people. But on top of that, like the thing is Microsoft has been doing stuff behind the scenes with every bit of time that they've had. Yes, it may not be getting a game out, but you can't just release something for the sake of saying, hey, now we have this game.
It's the development of the box. It's Game Pass. Yeah. It's making sure smart delivery, which the whole thing with Horizon was hilarious to watch. I mean, I'm glad that they kind of fixed it and turned it around, but it was just like, God, this is like everybody was making fun of the term smart delivery, and now look at every time some sort of game comes out for another platform, it's like, God, thank God that Microsoft just has smart delivery, you know?
And it's supporting and listening to indies.
Yeah,
which Jesse and you and I talked about that a few weeks ago. How it's like a lot of developers actually came out to say like Xbox has been one of the most indie friendly publishers or systems out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's like they both have development. Their priorities for development are different too, right? Like Microsoft wants to do a bunch of different things. Sony's really aiming at the AAA first party experience where like every game has to be a quadruple A masterpiece type game, which is great, right? But I mean, like I said the other day, after the showcase, I was like, this is the first time I actually feel like I might be missing out if I don't have a PlayStation 5, because like I like Wolverine. Wolverine's probably my favorite Marvel character. I would love to play a Wolverine game, but obviously I'm not going to play that on an Xbox. But then they showed Spider-Man, but like I didn't really care for Spider-Man when I played it. The first one. I'm like it was fine. Like the swinging was fine, but like after like 3 or 4 hours, I was like, I'm good. I think I got everything I needed out of this game. It was just like, okay, well, that's fine. Horizon was great. I think Horizon is probably my favorite of their first party output in recent years. So, but here's what Microsoft has going for it in the coming years, I guess you would say. Obviously, 343, Halo Infinite, Compulsion Games. They did their Series X update for We Happy Few, and now they're working on an unannounced project. Double Fine just put out Psychonauts 2, so we'll see their next project probably, I would say, sooner than later. They usually put out projects pretty quickly because they're usually smaller, and I'm sure they've staffed up quite a bit with a Microsoft budget. So, In Exile is working on an unannounced RPG using Unreal 5. I know that's been a big story going around, is that a lot of these teams are using Unreal 5, and it's going to take them some time to figure it out. But and then they did that. They just put out that big Wasteland 3 expansion, the Steel Town one. So Ninja Theory is working on Project Mara and Hellblade 2, two really fascinating smaller projects, I would say. Although the rumor is Hellblade is going to be a pretty big budget $70 game at this point now.
I was going to say, I think that one's a bigger one, but that other one's going to be a smaller.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I would love Hellblade to be a bigger, almost Horizon style game. I know like their whole thing is like dealing with mental health and whatever, but I think that would be really cool if they expanded that into like a bigger story, because like the rumor about Hellblade 2 is that it's not a sequel to the first game because of this, because of her psychosis. It's like the same character in a different world, and like it's like almost like gonna be like an anthology type series because of the things that maybe like a character in like quote unquote real life is dealing with.
That's why I wonder if it was like maybe like a prequel of sorts, because from what I understand, there's a big heavy focus on combat and like like in terms of what happened to her village that she grew up in.
Well, that's why I wonder if Ninja Theory and Microsoft were talking, and there was a change in the story of how they want to go about it.
And I wonder if that's why it's called Senua's Saga, and Hellblade 2 is like the subtitle instead of the main title,
Right, yeah.
So, and we've seen games call it 2 and it be a prequel before, right? Like Red Dead. Quite a few games actually. So let's see, where am I? Obsidian's working on Grounded, Avowed, and Outer Worlds 2. So we're getting a lot of output from them in the next few years. Playground's working on Horizon 5 and Fable. The Coalition's working on, I think they're working on a project before Gear 6. I think they've said as much at this point. So maybe maybe they're waiting for Rod Ferguson to come back after I know he doesn't want to leave a project unfinished, and he's going to stick it out for Diablo 4, but I'm sure he sure as hell wants to get out of Blizzard just like everybody else. So.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Gear 6 is probably in pre-production, like they're writing the story and doing art assets.
I mean, I feel like that stuff's already been done for a while. I feel like they just want to try something different.
Maybe they've been done with pre-production for a long time, and just whenever development starts,
Yeah, I feel like they kind of wrote Gears 5 and 6 almost at the same time, at least had like some sort of outline and say, okay, because like Gears 4 kind of has like I don't know, I feel like Gears 4 and 5 kind of flow nicely into each other, and then I feel like 5 and 6 will flow nice, just because like that original trilogy didn't really flow great in terms of the story. I mean, like, yeah, okay, Gears 1 was fine, and then Gears 2 had this really big story, but there wasn't really like a through point. There was just kind of like, okay, this one takes place after the other one. There wasn't really like, whereas Gears 4 had that really cool ending, which actually set up the story for Gears 5, and it felt a lot cleaner in a lot of respects. So obviously Rare's working on Sea of Thieves and Everwild. The Initiative's working on Perfect Dark, which I'm super fascinated by. I still wish it was a third-person stealth game and not a first-person shooter.
First-person.
Yeah. That kind of... Because
I want a Hitman style game.
Yeah. Like, I think that would have been really cool. I feel like Perfect Dark was like... It either should have gone like the Hitman route, or it should have gone the Metal Gear route, where like the story
I would have liked the Splinter Cell route.
Yeah.
Like Metal Gear / Splinter Cell route of just you got this like, super smart, intelligent, athletic, woman that, she's a super spy. So like, Mission Impossible meets Splinter Cell type thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a familiar spirit that they're going for.
Yeah, players. But like sometimes a change is good. Like sometimes you just if you just throw everything about the series in the trash. Because, like, let's be honest, there's one game that people have a lot of fond memories of, and then a launch game for the 360 that nobody really cares about. And I think a lot of people just look at Perfect Dark and was like, oh, that was the sequel to GoldenEye we never got, and it was really fun to play bots in multiplayer or whatever. And it was like, okay, but like this was the chance to like change everything about it, and I think they went a little too safe with it, to be honest with you.
Maybe there'll be a demo out for it for people to try.
It's called Game Pass, Ed. That's where your demos live now. You download it, you don't like it, you delete it. Yeah.
Download full games there.
Turn 10's working on Forza Motorsport 8, although I'm pretty sure the number was dropped, but maybe they'll call it 8. Maybe we'll get Stoy's wish. Maybe we'll just get his wish. Undead Labs is working on State of Decay 3, which I think is going to be another service-style game.
Yeah.
World's Edge is working on Age of Empires, so PC players can have something to play on their Game Pass.
Yeah, and I mean, that's coming out next month.
Yeah. That's surprising that they don't have a lot of PC stuff.
What do you mean? All these games are coming to PC.
Yeah.
They're getting the PC edition along with console.
I mean, Age of Empires is only going to PC.
Right.
No, that's coming to the console.
Is it?
Right? I thought it was coming to the console.
I think so. If not right away, it will down the line. Because I know, like, didn't we just get the Civ, a new...
Yeah, but Civ's always come to console. Age of Empires has never really been on console before.
Right. I thought, like, Perfect Dark and, like, Forza will also be on PC.
They are. All these games are going to be on PC also.
So they're doing PC, okay.
Bethesda, Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 76 updates. So there you go there. id doesn't really have any announced projects, although I think it's safe to say they're either working on a sequel to Doom or Quake or something to that matter. I know the big rumor right now is Quake because they just released Quake on the Game Pass. So that's the big rumor right now.
Age of Empires is only coming out for PC. You're right.
Okay.
Darn.
But Quake 2 and 3 are available on Game Pass, but those are only on the PC as well.
Yeah.
Which I found was interesting. So I don't know if they're coming out to the console.
Well, they released one of the games on the Xbox.
Yeah, they released one.
Yeah.
But that one was like a remaster. And then 2 and 3 are just kind of ports, so to speak. Yeah,
Or
and
the
those are
Commander
just on the
King.
PC.
Was that the ones that came out like 2 weeks ago? I think.
Yeah, they came out to the game. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Arcane is working on Deathloop and Redfall, which Xbox players will probably get Redfall first, I'm assuming, because
Deathloop next year late.
Yeah, Deathloop is a year exclusive on PlayStation. Tango Gameworks is working on Ghostwire Tokyo, which is also a year exclusive on PlayStation. And I'm sure The Evil Within is somewhere. So, but Machine Games, I think, is the most interesting out of all this, for me at least. Third Wolfenstein game and Indiana Jones, which, let me tell you, if Indiana Jones is like an Uncharted Tomb Raider style game, I will just, oh my gosh, I'll just shit my pants. I'll be so excited.
Yeah.
Because that's like the one thing that's like the one genre that Xbox is missing that PlayStation only has, is the third person over the shoulder action game, which I love, right? Like, I love Tomb Raider. I would just like more of that on Xbox. So, and then
that's the thing, is I wish we were getting more Tomb Raider.
I know. So now we're getting Avengers expansions instead. So, although
I was gonna say, I highly doubt that we're gonna get a Tomb Raider for a while.
Yeah. Although Guardians of the Galaxy looks all right. It looks okay.
It looks really good. What are you talking about? It's got a Russian dog. It's got a dog that's speaking in a Russian accent.
Yeah,
Corey.
that's from what, the Inhumans?
Corey,
I don't know.
Corey.
What?
Russian speaking dog. He's speaking in a Russian accent.
I get
Game
it.
of the year.
My wife's family speaks in Russian accents. I get it.
I know, so you should be excited for her.
She won't be excited. She'll just be like, "What is this garbage?" I showed her. Yeah. Look, in Destiny,
she'll look at it and be like, "That is not how we talk. This is insulting to my people."
In Destiny,
I don't know if that's what your wife sounds like.
She dude, if she wouldn't have told me she was from there, you wouldn't even be able to tell.
Okay.
Destiny has all kinds of road signs and stuff, because the first kind of area in Destiny 1 takes place in old Russia, and there's all these Russian road signs and everything. I was like, what does that say? She's like, exit. I was like, cool.
Sick.
Corey, who's doing Contraband?
Avalanche, which is a second party kind of initiative. So plus, like,
we're not gonna see it till 2023.
Yeah. Plus, there's like a lot of probably some deals with second parties, and I'm sure there's some Disney things, because like obviously Disney and Sony have a really good partnership, right? Because they've got a lot of Marvel stuff. They've got that timed exclusive for the Knights of the Old Republic remake, which the rumor is it's only 3 months. Okay. A lot of those deals were a year. I'm surprised that this one's only 3 months, if the rumor is correct.
Yeah.
Who's publishing that one?
Aspire, I think, is publishing it, right? They're developing it.
I know they're developing it. They're
so
developing it, but I don't know who's publishing
THQ, I guess, would be, because the Embracer Group owns Aspire, so that would either be like Deep Silver or THQ Nordic, probably.
Wow, that would be a big license to grab, because that was a EA.
Yeah, and they have zero involvement. I don't know if you read that interview.
The BioWare tweet? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they basically said, we're really excited to see what they'll do with it. So
okay.
I'm actually curious to see, because I know there like a Sega and Microsoft partnership was heavily rumored like for a while.
Yeah, I wonder if that was just the Game Pass stuff, because they've added a lot of Sega stuff to Game Pass.
Yeah.
It probably was just Game Pass stuff.
Also, also Tokyo Game Show's coming up, and like Sega is rumored to have some, I don't know, announcements there. I know that there's some sort of Persona event or Atlas event where they're going to announce a lot of Persona projects and products being released or re-released, and I wonder if some of them are going to come to Game Pass.
That would be cool if we seen the whole like Yakuza, where they just added all the Persona games to Game Pass.
Yeah, I think the games
pretty big.
The games people really want though are like 3, 4, and 5. I guess I also, if they add those to Game Pass, I don't think we would get like the special editions or the re-release editions. I think we would just get the base versions, right? Like, like the Royal Edition of Persona 5. I don't think it would be. I think it would just be like the original, which would be fine because it's like 1,000 hours of gameplay anyway.
I think they'll probably do fast for Persona 3.
So, I know a lot of people want Persona on other platforms, so this would be a good opportunity for Microsoft to jump in there and say, "Hey, look at us." So. Also, the only thing under the Xbox Publishing, Global Publishing, there is that Project Dragon from IO. So they do have a partnership with the Hitman team working on that.
Scalebound.
Yeah, wouldn't that be hilarious if that's the direction Scalebound went? Was they instead of like
try to be all subtle with it, Project Dragon.
Yeah,
yeah.
Instead of
that's
Platinum. The Platinum high action game. It's a Hitman style stealth game where like you can
you imagine
throw like your headphones at a dragon and it's just like this homing, like the homing suitcase in Hitman.
Bro, like stealth mechanics in a dragon fighting game, dude.
That would literally be interesting. Them reworking Scalebound to be that.
I wonder, man, because according to Platinum, Microsoft owns the IP.
They do.
So that would be really interesting. Microsoft is also publishing Contraband, The Gunk, As Dusk Falls, which is the team that did it's like a spin-off team from the gosh, why can't I think right now?
As Dusk Falls, I'm trying to think.
It's Interior Night is the studio. They came from the team that did Detroit Become Human and those games.
Quantic Dream.
Yes, thank you. God, I almost said Quantum Break, but I'm like, that's a game.
Close.
Oh my gosh, this has been one hell of a weekend. I'm like, because like people are quitting at work, right? And like I've had to start working 6 days. I told Ed if I didn't work Monday and I worked over 50 hours this week, and I had to work Saturday, and I was like, this week is. I'm at the point where I'm like dreading going to work because I'm going to be working for so long. It's fine. It's fine.
Jeez.
Promise everybody I'm fine. Help me. Crossfire X from Remedy, the Remedy campaign for that looks really cool. So
have they given any updates for that game? For that?
Well, from what we've heard, it sounds like their part is done. They're just waiting for the multiplayer to get finished.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which it's mostly just it's just porting it over.
Yeah.
You know, because it's been on the PC for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
And I think they're updating some of the stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Making it console friendly. But I imagine this game itself, I think, is going to bring a lot of console players, like new console players from the PC over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, because Crossfire X has a huge following.
Yeah. I'm excited for a lot of these games though. Like I know we just kind of listed them and we kind of talked about half of them.
Jesse, you and I talked a couple weeks ago about Scorn. About that?
Yeah,
I forgot about
Scorn.
They've been so silent on it, but it's actually slated for a fall release. And this game looks sick.
For this year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out this year, and we just haven't heard anything about it. But yeah, anything horror, I'm just all in. So
yeah,
I'm assuming they'll probably show something next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just say it's coming out in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So, just in case anybody was wondering if Xbox has no games, we just named about 25 of them that you can look forward to in the next 2 to 3 years. So.
Yeah, and actually a lot coming out just this year still.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a big dump this year. Yeah.
I mean, Halo's the big one, right? Like, I mean, like for me, I know we've gotten I know the system launched with Gears Tactics, and I really liked what I played of Gears Tactics. But like Halo's like the one game that's like, okay, we're pointing to you to be the you're kicking off everything. You know, I mean, I know Forza Horizon 5 is coming, and I think that game's going to be awesome. I bet it sells better than Halo, to be honest with you, just because racing games usually sell.
Yeah, I know, but I think Halo is a big enough franchise that I think it'll do well.
I think more people will download the multiplayer. And
absolutely.
Well, the multiplayer's free though, so like, you know.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people are going to jump in on the single player.
I will.
I will play the
Streamers?
campaign. I will play the campaign through all the way, probably one time, maybe 2 or 3 times if we decide to play co-op, or if I play co-op with someone.
Whenever a co-op gets released.
Yeah, and then multiplayer is going to be where it's at. I think.
Yeah,
I think
that's
the
what-
multiplayer the multiplayer is fun. I will give it that. Like, free to play multiplayer game with the season pass stuff that they're doing, where you can actually jump between season passes and not have to worry about them expiring. I think is really cool. I think they're doing a lot of smart things with the multiplayer to keep people engaged in it. So.
Well, that's the ethos of what multiplayer games are now. I mean, you look at Call of Duty adopting that. Battlefield soon is going to be adopting that, I imagine. Obviously that was paved the way from like games like Fortnite and Apex Legends and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, they want a game as a service now, release these for free, microtransaction the fuck out of them,
right,
and make money.
That's going to be an interesting thing to see in December after Halo Infinite's multiplayer come out. Which one is everybody still playing? Will it be a battle between all 3 of them, or will Call of Duty Vanguard take the reins?
The thing is like I feel like Warzone is the persistent game, and then people, I just don't feel like Call of Duty multiplayer is as big as it used to be. Like the normal multiplayer,
and it's losing players left and right because of the rampant cheating that's been happening.
Right. It's the normal multiplayer is falling, but Warzone is growing. Plus, with Fortnite and Apex, like you said, and Battlefield doing some really interesting things with their multiplayer. It seems like, and Halo's multiplayer being free. I feel like the Halo multiplayer being free, in the fact that it's coming out this year, it's hitting at the right time.
Yep.
It's like it's a really perfect storm of games, either right, because like Battlefield's still $70. Everybody, like that's a big deal. That a multiplayer only game is $70.
If it doesn't offer that much content that it should offer. Yeah, Halo Infinite's definitely going to destroy it.
Plus, it comes out 2 months beforehand.
Yeah, Battlefield's going to sink.
Well, Battlefield is, I mean, they've definitely been working on trying to fill that game with as much content as possible. Like, Halo's going to be missing it at first, but now Battlefield has kind of added their Forge mode to their game, which is really going to, it's going to grab some of those people that play Fortnite, I honestly think, because Fortnite has that create side where you can build like maps and stuff to play with your friends on. And if Battlefield can capitalize on that kind of stuff, like they can definitely, I think, bring a lot of people in. But I do think, and we've talked about this before, but I do think that the ultimate get would be to put that game on Game Pass and give people a chance to give it a try. It'll
be on EA Play before it
I mean, like most EA games give you that 10-hour preview though, right? Like I know Madden did.
Yeah. So there is that kind of stuff too, but they've got to get that out there though. Like they've definitely got to promote that that's available for people to try it.
Just the first 2 weeks of December is going to be bunkers. Just filled with games. Like that's.
I mean, the whole fall is just filled with games, right? Like I mean, even if you take
wait till spring next year, guys.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be honest, like the next 6 to 9 months are just full of games. So it's exciting.
One other thing too is though it is a Call of Duty game and they are always a big contender. The thing is a lot of people are more interested in Battlefield with it being a more modern day game. Whereas there's a lot of people who have been like, we're going back to World War II.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people would rather play Battlefield this year than Call of Duty. I don't know how true that is, because like you have to take everything you see on Twitter and social media with a big, huge, fat grain of salt. But like a lot of things I've seen is like, we don't want a World War II game. We want a modern military shooter, and that's
well,
kind of
it's
where.
interesting when they said that with when Infinite Warfare came out at the same time as Battlefield 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How much hate Infinite Warfare got, and Battlefield 1, everyone was all like pro Battlefield 1.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what sold more copies that year? Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a PC thing that PC players gonna play more Battlefield, and then console players will play Vanguard.
And Infinite Warfare, isn't that the one that came with the Modern Warfare remaster?
Mm-hmm.
Where you had to buy that for a while in order to be able to.
Yeah, and then both services ended up
really
getting it out for free at some point.
Game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I thought Infinite Warfare was one of my more favorite Call of Duty games. I really thought the campaign was really good. I mean, the multiplayer was all right, but I really loved the campaign. It came with a free VR mode, actually.
I know for Halo Infinite, just like you, Corey, I'm gonna play the single player. Because I really want to see how big the world is, and I want to get a good feel of those guns.
I just want to see how the story kind of wraps up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, like, whatever happened in Halo 5, right? Like, I just want to see, like, Halo's like the one first-person shooter that has the story that you're invested in, and I've been I mean, we've all kind of been invested for like 20 years at this point, so we might as well wrap it up, you know.
That's why I wonder if this new Cortana is going to be kind of the next phase.
Mm-hmm. It kind of seems like she's going to be the AI for the next hero, because I feel like they're going to retire Master Chief
after this one.
I feel like it's
going to be a tough call.
I feel like this is where they retire Master Chief. Maybe they don't kill him, but like,
and bring back John Locke.
God. Here's the thing. I wouldn't have minded playing as Fireteam Osiris if it was a spinoff game. If you're going to number a Halo game, you better let me play as Master Chief. That's all I'm saying. They could have just called it. They just could have called it.
That's exactly why Master Chief will never leave the Halo universe.
I know.
Halo 6 will have to be Master Chief unless they literally go the route of we're going to ditch the Halo game and we're going to release all the other games in the Halo universe, but ditch the Halo as the title.
Yeah. Or it's going to be Halo. I mean, like Halo Reach and ODST didn't play as Master Chief.
Right, that's true. So that's how they would have to go. They'd have to ditch the numbering.
Yeah,
I guess.
I wonder if they're going to do a retrospective in like November, like catching up with the story, and probably have some of the games on sales.
They have been doing a retrospective. It's called the Master Chief Collection.
Eddie.
I'm talking about them going with adding 5 too, like just someone doing a video of it.
I am kind of surprised that they never added 5 to the Master Chief Collection just to have it all in one nice little package. But also, I think a lot of people want to forget Halo 5.
They can still make money off of Halo 5 as a standalone game.
That's true.
Well, and I think that like I could see them like trying to do what they're doing in Gears of War, though. Like have it where Master Chief may be a big part of the thing, but it's like a send off. Like have it like if he's got some kind of
like what they did with Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like you can still have Halo Chief as part of the game, but like maybe have him be this grizzled old man.
Yeah.
But I think
I love the way they incorporated Marcus into the new trilogy, though.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Oh, get off my tomatoes!
Oh, come on!
Yeah, I think if you do the character justice and you really like, you can push a narrative that fans are happy with, that kind of gives you the sense of a moving forward thing. I don't think you necessarily have to guarantee that he has to be there. It's just we never really got that part of a story that really made us satisfied with him not being in 5.
I'm gonna give you 2 words on why fans will never ever let go of their beloved characters and franchises. Mass Effect. I'm telling you. It's going to have to stay as Master Chief for the long time unless you completely rapidly change course.
See, I don't know. I feel like Gears did it. They changed.
Yeah, but they still maintained a lot of Marcus Phoenix still being a major player in that game.
I get
if they'd have completely ditched him, I don't think it would have resonated as well with fans.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair.
Man, I feel like this is a whole nother topic.
I know it is. I feel like
we've run this course.
Let's save this. Let's put a pin in it. We're gonna put a pin in it. We've been going for 2 hours. Okay, we're gonna put a pin in it. We're gonna revisit this topic.
Ah, man, that pin's so sharp.
Ah, yeah.
God. Oh, man.
But we're gonna wrap the show.
All right.
If we would have started earlier, we could have kept going. Because like I was telling Jesse last week, I don't mind doing like a super long show as long as the content is relevant and kind of, you know, but I feel like we're talking in circles now, you know. So
yeah, I mean it's good conversation, but yeah, we're coming up with new topics like every 2 seconds.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for coming and joining our live show this Sunday evening. Remember, you can catch the show every Tuesday on your podcast service of choice. Please like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you consume the show. Ed, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being on vacation.
Did you say this was live? We were on Twitch the entire time? Man,
sure were.
I didn't like accidentally pick my nose, did I?
Maybe. I don't know.
Shit. Oh, well, it's fine.
It's fine.
You can edit that in post, right?
Nope. I'm going to zoom in, actually.
Wow.
Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at TheRetroCo and check out Nintendo Power Block on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Stoy.
Yes.
Where can we find you?
I'm part of the one of my other podcasts is the EXP Cast. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the EXP Cast. I run those pages, so that's a good place to follow and track me and bug me.
Nice. You can find me at IamCoreyNHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. You can find me showing up on Power Block sometimes. I've kind of moved here from there, but I'll still be showing up there once in a while when I'm not crying to sleep. It's fine.
Bro, you want me to like read you a bedtime story?
That'd be awesome. Would you do that, please? I'm really tired of reading the same 8 books to my daughter every night.
Okay.
You want to hear about the little blue truck that drives through the city and causes accidents?
What?
Yeah, it's going back to the library tomorrow. We're gonna get 7 new books, so it's fine. It's fine. Anyways, check out all of our content on bossrush.net. Check out our family of shows. Check out our network of shows. Very fun stuff. Website is changing. I'm very excited. Thank God we found a theme that works for everybody. And thank everybody for watching. And until next week, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye now.